Hiya folks, just before we get started, just an editor's note that we re-recorded part of the episode at the request of the guest. So when you hear a change of sound quality, you'll know why. Hope you enjoy the listen.
Hello, I am Elan Kelman from University College London in the UK and the University of Agder in Norway. You are listening to the Coffee and Geography podcast, so grab yourself a brew and enjoy the listen.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Coffee and Geography podcast. Yeah, the time difference here is probably as wide as we're going to get on this podcast because this is amazing. Joining us from Aotearoa, colonially known as New Zealand, Pluto Liu. How are you? Good evening.
How are you? Exciting.
Yeah. I haven't woken up properly yet. I mean, it's 20 to 11 in the morning here. And I'm actually, and my long-term listeners will be very surprised at this, I actually am drinking coffee, and I'll explain why in a second. But yeah, what time is it where you are? Kind of like down under?
Yeah, it's like 20 to 12 a.m.
20. Okay. When I said before I recorded, I didn't want to keep you up too late. I didn't realize it was that late.
That's all right. I'm a late person anyway. Like I can't do mornings. That's why I booked like a night time because like I function better at night. Yeah.
Yeah, the same as me. I'm actually a night owl, and if I allow my body clock to just adjust itself naturally, I would be going to bed at like 1-2 in the morning and waking up at around about now. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But I have kids. So that ain't going to happen. Okay, to introduce Pluto, folks. So a professional nomad who's doing a PhD in marine science, studying kelp and Antarctica as a side hustle. Studied Bachelor of Arts and Science in Geography and Zoology and a Bachelor of Science with Honours in Ecology. Loves arts and constantly talking about quitting PhD. I love this, to become a tattoo artist. And I'm going to keep in contact with you after this, Pluto, because I want to extend my tattoo and I might want to have some advice from you. But anyway, we'll come back to that. Yeah. Loves everything about nature, hates everything about capitalism, and probably knows more animals than humans in the town they are living with. They're living in. Great. Oh, you see why I was so excited for this chat, folks.
Yeah. I'm excited too.
So let's have a look. So I will definitely come back to this tattoo artist bit, but is it no, let's do that now. Are you someone who, like, as you were growing up, like, and probably still now, you just like find yourself doodling like kind of like really cool shapes and like thinking that would make an awesome tattoo?
Well, I never thought about tattooing until I was maybe in my 20s, like properly tattooing. I mean, I had my first tattoo when I was maybe 18, but after a while there's like a huge gap. I think I don't know. I think I view my body as a canvas in some way. It's like a place for all the tattoo artists to make arts. And it's funny. It's like the best compensation from tattoo artists is like you have the best skin to tattoo with, and I get that from every tattoo artist I make.
Oh,
it's so funny.
Brilliant. I have just one little one on my arm, and I need to do better.
Yeah, no, it's a process. It's a process, and also it's very addictive. So, yeah.
I've heard. You know what? When I got mine done. I mean, I need to have mine touched up because this is ridiculous, right? But so I'm still with my partner, with my wife, so that's it's all good. But this was, let me say, we first met 23 years ago. This was now, so 2003.
That was a long time.
My part, you can see behind me, Pluto. We've got some art on the wall. That's my wife's art. She's amazing. And perhaps after the chat, I'll take my laptop over there and show you a bit closer. But then she was so good at like doing these kind of really abstracted like doodles, and I was like, "Can you design a tattoo for me?" And I was like, "Not with your name on it, because I wasn't that naive, but." Yeah. And because I love foxes, which I've got a fox shirt on, I've got my fox hoodie on. Let's see if I can take this off. I don't know how to describe this to folks because we're only recording audio, but can I pull this up far enough? I don't know. No, I'll show you after the chat. But I've got a fox tattoo, and that's just its tail poking out, which is
I can see that.
Yeah. and it's
That's
my
pretty
initials
cool.
are in it as well, and it's so personal, and I just like, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and it felt, what was really weird, people see describe and say, Kit, when you get it done, it's almost like constantly being stung by a bee. And I have been stung by a bee, so I was like, oh crap.
Yeah. Okay.
But I didn't find it that bad, to be honest. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
get into almost a trance, don't you? And it just becomes
Yeah,
almost
pretty
background noise,
much.
and
Yeah,
you just have a
yeah.
chat,
I
listen to music.
sometimes I feel like it's like a deep tissue massage. I'm like falling
A deep
asleep, and my
tissue
tattoo artist. Yeah, it's kind of
Oh,
meditating in a way, in some sort of way. Like
I like
you
it.
hear the sounds and just like people doing arts around you, and you're kind of just lying there, and yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you chat, sometimes you don't,
Or
and
maybe I'm
like
just a masochist.
yeah, I don't know, but I also like become very good friends with my tattoo artist too. So it's like we always have some like chit chats about different things. Like when
Cool.
you're on a tattoo table, it's like you chat about every single thing like in the world, pretty much. Your life, the world. It's like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like the universe is in the tattoo table. So yeah, I really enjoy that.
So great. Right.
Yeah.
So what do you, I suppose at this time of night, do you still drink any caffeine, or what kind of drink do you usually go for when you want to stay awake?
Uh, Interestingly, caffeine doesn't really keep me awake. It's more like a
Oh,
psychological effect, I think. It might be some kind of ADHD thing I heard from people, maybe.
okay.
But yeah, right now I'm drinking hot chocolate. It's my like before bed drink. It's always every single night, hot chocolate. Yeah.
So we're in a late night cafe, folks, and we've got Pluto's drinking their hot chocolate, and I've got surprising everybody else some coffee. And the reason why I have, folks, is because um, we've got, this is a musician has partnered up with
Ooh.
a company called Bjorn Specialty Coffee, and has
Uh-huh.
created her own brand of coffee. And I saw her perform at
Yeah.
Norwich Science Festival last week, um, and alongside the wonderful, wonderful, beautiful human being and comedian that is Robin Ince here in the UK. And if you haven't heard of that person, folks,
Yeah.
we used to do the Infinite Monkey Cage podcast with Professor Brian Cox, all about science and comedy, and it's brilliant. And so I said to her, I'm going to buy your coffee and you need to come on a podcast. So Charlotte, if you're listening, remember you said you'd want to come on my podcast. I'd love to have you on a podcast, and I'm drinking your coffee as I promised.
Yeah.
It's actually quite nice. I'm not usually a coffee drinker, so that's why I'm drinking coffee right now. But
Cool. That's pretty cool.
so we got,
Yeah,
yeah,
my hot
it's a
chocolate
thing.
is like it's like I don't know, it's like a trade aid company in New Zealand. I
Mm.
don't know if it's somewhere else, but it's like fair trade products from basically everywhere else on the world. And
Oh.
the thing I love about it is they have a huge giant 5 kg bag of hot chocolate. I love it. Because in the supermarket you can only get like 500 grams or something. They got a 5
Okay.
kg bag. 5
Oh
kg.
my
I was
goodness.
so happy when I got it. I took a
I'm just
photo and
checking
showed
my
my
eldest
friends.
is my
Yeah,
eldest isn't listening. Yeah, and he's at school. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
He's on a hot chocolate
yeah,
binge at the moment. So what's the
yeah.
brand name then? Because we like to put it on our beverage map so people can have a look at their sustainability credentials.
It's just called Trade 8, I think. Let me
Trade
search
8.
one bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So while you're searching that up, Pluto, just to tell
yeah.
folks, we do have an interactive map on the Coffee and Geography podcast website where you can look at all the brews people on the podcast have been drinking, and then you can click through, and I've linked their sustainability page so you can assess yourself. And if you're a teacher, good little project for your students to see the levels of sustainability in the brews that we drink. So yeah.
Yeah, what I find is like they are just called Trade 8, and I'm not sure
Okay.
if it's only in New Zealand or it's somewhere else too.
Okay. Well, stick them
Yeah.
on the map and people can have a little investigate that. Right. So my favorite, well, the whole chat is my favorite really, but I really love listening to the guests about talking about their geographical identity. So this is the question I like to ask everybody, Pluto, is for you and your identity right now. So whether it is, your personal, spiritual, physical, whatever it is, the places that you've been, the places that you love, the places that you grew up, how has that formed Pluto of today. So is there a little bit of this place, a little bit of this place, a little bit of this passion, for this location? So who is Pluto today in terms of their geography, where they've been?
That is a very hard question.
We
For
get it
me,
out the way first.
I guess. Yeah. Well, I guess I think in some sort of way, it's like I've been asking myself this question for a while too, actually. Because like I grew up in China. I stayed there until I was like maybe like 17, and then I went out of there and went around a bit. Went to Hong Kong, went to Thailand, and I came to New Zealand about 8 years ago. Yeah, but interesting thing is I feel more comfortable speaking English than Mandarin Chinese, or I have my own dialect too. So
Really?
yeah, I prefer English than those languages, even though English is quite boring, to be honest.
I agree.
Yeah. I think in some sort of way, it's like all my 20s, it's like I've been speaking English, and 20s is like how a person changes the most, almost. Like you find your own identity, you find your own space for yourself. So because I'm speaking English during this period of time, I think English somehow just feels more comfortable for me than my mother tongue in ways. But I'm also studying Spanish in the moment because I went to Latin America last year for like 6 months, and I don't know, I just loved it. It's so random. Like I was talking to my friends, like the culture difference between Latin American and Chinese culture is like almost completely different. Like one is so conservative, like restricted, and the other one is so open and so expressive. And while I was there, I felt at home. It's like I was like, did I grow up? Did I born in the right place or not? you know, it's really interesting. Yeah. By the time I spent there was like amazing. Like I was saying, it was like enriching my soul almost in some sort of way. So yeah. So my identity, I don't know, to be honest, it's like a mixture of all different places I've been to, and how I still, I still embrace the Chinese culture because it's very rich and awesome in ways. And yeah, it's just a mixture of all different kinds of things. And now I'm exploring my Spanish part.
That's amazing.
In terms of language.
Which part of South America did you go to then? Because obviously there's a big colonial Spanish area to that film. So
yeah, I stayed in Chile most.
Oh, Chile, okay.
Yeah, Chile most. I went to Argentina for a little bit, but yeah, most of the time in Chile. And now like I had like very, very good friends from Chile, like all around Mexico, Argentina, like everywhere around there now. Like we still talk.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
My favorite hairdresser is from Chile now. Like we talk constantly. I was like, I need you to give me a haircut. My hair is growing out of control.
I'm gonna go over there just for a haircut. I need
just
your
haircut. That's a very expensive haircut.
It would be a very expensive, but you know what? One thing in a kind of semi-serious note, people, one thing is like, how do you, if you've got connections or family in other parts of the world, which means you have to fly on occasion and things like that. How do you square that circle? How do you rationalize that with the fact that you're an environmentalist and you're reducing carbon and and I say to it, look, for the odd time that you fly to go see family or connect with your place and your soul and stuff like that, that's nothing compared to regular flyers and billionaires who are on their private jets all the time. So don't ever feel guilty about doing that. So if you go there for your special haircut to see your good friend, that's a valid reason in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful. I mean, I've not yet been to any part of South America. The furthest south I've been on that part of the world is Florida when I was a kid. I can't go back there at the moment my family's American, so it's such a shame that I don't feel safe visiting that country at the moment. But that's the furthest south I've been. I've not been, but I've spoken to Omar from Mexico this season already. That was a wonderful chat, folks. Make sure you listen to that. And you're talking about your experiences there. And back in season 1, I spoke to Victoria, who was from Argentina, and I'm just like, I need to get there somehow, and just
You should.
because it sounds brilliant.
You should find some opportunities. I was there originally just for a conference, but I was like, I don't want to just fly there for a week and come back straight
Fair
away.
play.
Yeah, and we had a professor in one of the university there, and I was just like, okay, stay there for a bit longer, maybe do some extra research.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah. And this, folks, is the benefit of of embracing a global society where we respect each other's culture. It just makes life so much more interesting. So I love it. Oh, thank you for sharing that. So the where you are in New Zealand at the moment, you are kind of like in the South Island kind of. I'm just looking at a map now. So you're kind of South Island on the southeast coast. So is this? Now, because I've got Lord of the Rings in my head, I want to pronounce it Dunedain, but it's not Dunedain. Is that how you pronounce it? How do you pronounce it?
Some people do pronounce it Dunedain. It's Dunedin.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, some people do that. You understand it. Yeah, but in Maori, it's called Aotearoa.
Aotearoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just briefly describe to us kind of like what that place is like. I mean, you say you know more animals than people there, but just describe it to us very briefly as a place.
Yeah, I think as a place itself, it got a lot of Scottish, Irish, Scottish. I can't remember which one. Heritage over there.
Yeah.
From past like colonial histories over there. But the nature is awesome. Like it got pretty beaches. It's one of the best surfing places in the world, I think. And you can just see wildlife like sea lions, seals, penguins on the beach. It's like natural wildlife center, basically.
That sounds amazing.
And lots of albatrosses. And I don't know what it's famous for. Maybe famous for. Oh, it got the steepest street in the world. It's a Guinness record. People go there to see that. Yeah.
Because I thought that was in San Francisco. I lived in San Francisco for a bit, and you've got this big streets, and because the road has to wide round like that, otherwise you can't get up and down it. But it's been beaten by. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah. Well, I think it's there for a while now. Yeah, people go there just to see the road. It's really, it is really steep. You don't want to drive up there with the old.
It's actually called Steep Street.
Well, it's called Baldwin Street in
Baldwin Street.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah, but there is a road called Steep Street, which is hilarious, and it's not a road, so it's a path, which is not actually steep. I don't know why it's called Steep Street. I just looked at, but I see a little bit of it where it goes up, down. But
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So I mean, I've always wanted to come and visit, and I think this is a place I want to check out. Right. Oh,
I think the
brilliant.
beaches are better than the street, to be honest.
I'm also someone who's very, very. I love a view as well.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at some of the pictures of this place, and it just looks so gorgeous. The way it looks over the bay, and okay.
It's very pretty.
I'm romanticizing this now.
Yeah. Well, the only bad thing about it, should I tell though? The only bad thing about it is the weather. It can get really cold in winter, and the weather changes. It has like 4 seasons in one day sometimes, so people don't really like the cold. Yeah. Well,
I'm in England.
You're in the UK. Forgot about that. Yeah.
Yes. Right. So let's talk a bit of shop now. So you said here that, and this is something I definitely identified with to some degree, to some level. You say here, you fit too many minority labels, and for those of you who are because we're not recording video, I did the quotation marks in my hands there, in geography. And that's one thing, I mean, as a geographer at heart, that's one thing I find very difficult to get round, is that there are too many labels in geography. And I've spoken in the past about how geography has been a colonial kind of discipline for a very long time. But, you say here, lesbian, queer, non-white, Asian, woman, non-binary, immigrant. It says
Too
soon
many.
to become unemployed. Yeah, which is outrageous, folks. Listen, if you're a tattoo artist in the area, or you've got a very talented person in Pluto here, you've got to look this person up. And yeah, it's a dilemma for me, because discrimination often becomes from putting people in the labels rather than just seeing as a human being. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, but I love what you say here about you being proud of yourself every day for being yourself, and that's it. That for me, that's the best way of pushing back, of just being one with ourselves and being proud of ourselves, because loving yourself first means you've got a lot more love to give to other people. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about that at the moment, because like this geographical propensity to just stick labels on everything, it could be everything from, oh, that's physical geography, no, that's human geography, or that, and I hate this terminology, oh, that's the first world, that's the third world. It's very archaic, racial, racialized labels still exist. And my label that I absolutely detest is natural disasters. There's no such thing as a natural disaster. There's natural processes, and then there's human interactions and interference with those processes. So I just want you to kind of talk to me a bit about, and if please, however you feel comfortable to say, bring your own personal identity into that, but in general, kind of this propensity for the geography discipline to just put things into labels rather than, it struggles with the nuance, although it's getting better, I think, as we decolonialize it.
Yeah. I think this is the thing about geography or science in general, like the Western science, like this quotation mark, they tend to separate things. Like they want to, like for me, I'm doing marine science. They put me in the marine scientist or marine biologist category. But my background is, zoology, geography, like all these terminologies, like, but they are all interconnected. Like they are not separated from each other. I think geography is the same. It's like the Western science try to put different labels or different categories to groups of people together, or group some phenomenon together, in order to, I don't know, maybe try to better understand it, or try to put it into words in some way, maybe. Yeah, but sometimes because they try to separate things so much, they forgot to put it together. Like they forgot everything's interconnected. I think the biggest thing I've been kind of exploring myself is about like the separation between arts and humanities, which is a big thing. Because for me, myself, for my undergrads, I did science and arts. So it's like almost two sides of the coin, you can see. And I think only combining these two together, I feel like I get a more holistic understanding of how the world is processing, like anything basically. And you got more critical thinking about different things too. Like sometimes you are only studying science, you forgot how to critical thinking or the thought processes in arts or humanities. But when you're studying arts and humanities, sometimes you forgot how the science use evidence-based, or I don't know how to describe it. It's quite complicated. But yeah, I think it's just two different thought processes in order to understand things, in order to make the world better almost. You kind of need to put them together because they are connected. But then the science itself or humanities itself, they are kind of trying to separate things. It's also how we study nature. I feel like in a lot of like indigenous knowledge, humans are part of nature. We are all interconnected, but in Western science, nature is like a separate thing. that we are looking at. It's almost like an object, but it's not an object, like we're part of it. So I think it's one of the biggest things I'm kind of exploring at the moment is just how to really, combine them together into my research at least. But also, like, I really wish I could help to, communicate this to more people as well. So, I think that's an idea.
This is a clear message that's coming from all my guests so far. Definitely this season, and definitely, has been in the previous conversation. Is this exact thing, and I'm quite fortunate that the department I work in, the climate change research department that I work in at the university I'm at, they're quite progressive when it comes to seeing those interdisciplinary links, and they're there's more and more. When they first started, they were all about the science. This is what's happening with climate change. This is how much the world's warming. Blah 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 blah. But for the last few years, they've been very, very good at looking at the social impacts, the interdisciplinary nature, the fact that you can't study marine scientists without collaborating with an atmospheric scientist and or the kind of the way that the humans kind of interact at that coastal boundary, that coastal fringe. And it's a breath of fresh air. And we're getting there slowly, but I don't think it's as mainstream as it should be. Now, this also is a good thing to move on to a question that I got on LinkedIn. So Joe Boyle on LinkedIn, who's put us a question for us. Let me put that up on the screen just for your benefit here, Pluto. Yeah. So believe it or not, he's this is I want to say his profile for his LinkedIn. It says researcher, science communicator, and scuba diva supporting people as nature. So I think he's coming from the same perspective as you are. And so this is the question that he's asked you. He said he'd love to know Pluto's views on capitalism encroaching more and more into the polar seas. And the reason why I bring this up is because when you were talking about separating nature from humans, I read a report from the UK government about biodiversity loss, and they were framing it as a national security issue and an economic issue. And they said nature is worth around 80-something billion to the UK economy. Stop seeing it as an economic capitalist asset, because I know that's how some people talk and some people frame things. You have to look at everything through an economic lens, but that's just not helpful. So that's why I think now bringing in Joe's question is a fantastic thing. So views on capitalism encroaching more and more into the polar seas.
But so because I'm only studying Antarctica and the Southern Ocean, so I don't know enough about the situation in the Northern Sea. So I will only share my opinions about the South. But I guess just want to note here that the North and South are very different. Because Antarctic and the Southern Ocean essentially doesn't really belong to any country. But in the North, there are more land than ocean, and there are different countries' territories, which is quite different. But anyway, to the question about capitalism towards the polar seas, polar regions, it is a problem, I think. There are a lot of research about it. There are a lot of regulations about it, and it's highly monitored in the Southern Ocean, and which is good in a scientific way. But I think because of climate change, everything is changing. In the Southern Ocean, there's a lot of changes that's happening that is very hard to monitor or hard to research about. Like, again, when you do research, you can only focus on specific areas, but in order to get a whole picture, there's a lot of more collaborations need to be happening, and a lot of more, like we mentioned about the science and arts and humanities, about the interconnectedness of everything. So there's a lot of complications about it. So I think with climate change and everything that's going on around the world, it is very hard to monitor the fishing industry and their activities. And I'm not sure about how the policy is like how strict about the regulations about how much they can capture. And about the Japanese whaling, I think that's a conflict between traditions, cultures, and the ecosystem, or the capitalized ecosystem. I think right now the whaling is banned in the Southern Ocean around the Antarctic water, even for Japan. I mean, they still do some whaling, I think, around their waters, but it's banned in Southern Ocean. And I think here is what the education comes very important. We need more public awareness and education to teach people, about how capitalized whaling, capitalized fishing is bad for the environment. And I think like now, because people are more aware of it, then less people are buying the products from the whaling, and which is so I think that's very important to educate, and that's why we do science communication. And for other aspects about the Antarctic and capitalism, I think political aspect is also super important, and I think I'm very reserved about my opinions about like what each country's political aims when they are operating in Antarctica. I mean, the Antarctic Treaty says that you can only, do scientific activities in Antarctica, and there's no country that can claim any territories there. But, when you go to a research station or you visit somewhere, you have to, tell them you are going there, and there's a lot of complicated procedures that's happening beforehand when you go there. Like when I went down there, like I think I submitted so many different documents or applications to different agencies or institutions, just in order for me to go down there and do some research in a place that technically doesn't belong to any places. So that just and politics, sometimes it's just really hard to have a say about it, I guess, as a scientist or as common people like us, especially when you are in minority groups. It's just even less say about it. It's interesting. I want to share a story that I was supposed to go on a field trip to an subantarctic island for my research, and that island belongs to the French government. So basically, it's their territory because of colonization, and they rejected my visa because I was born in China. They think I'm a spy, I think. Anyway, all these complications and things, you just, sometimes you feel very, very vulnerable, like you just can't do much about it. But we're still trying. Another aspect, I think, for the tourism part, because there's a lot of tourism going on down there at the moment, and it's increasing at the moment as well. I think in a way, it's very good to get people down there to see with their own eyes, how different it is a place can be without humans or without a lot of human influence. Like it really, like it was just really amazing. Like it touches your soul. Like you just feel so different when you are there, when you are in that space. So again, it's very good to educate people, about how beautiful the world we are living at is and how important it is we need to protect it. But I think on the other hand is like, who can actually be there? Like for me, I'm doing research as a scientist, and I didn't even have a lot of opportunities that came up. I only went down there once for my years of PhD, and it's very hard for me to get down there again because I have to find opportunities, find a ship that can take me, and back to the politics part again, because all the politics is complicated. It's just really hard to get down there. Yeah, and for the tourism part, it is very expensive to get on a ship, and most likely only those rich people, privileged rich people, who can get down there. Yeah, so I think that's also another capitalist side. Like, if you are from a minority group, you don't have a lot of money. Even if you care about the environment, you don't have the opportunity to get there, even though if you want to. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of things that still needs a lot of improvement, a lot of awareness, and a lot of changes that needs to happen.
Let's tweak a little bit of fun now, Pluto. So
Okay.
let's stick with this capitalism kind of thing, and then I want us to do. You're only the second person I've done this with, actually. So we're going to do grounds for debate. So here's my new. There's my new soundbite for grounds for debate. So here's the provocation, right? And you can take a side. It's a false dichotomy, right, folks? So we're deliberately making it a false dichotomy. We know the Earth, as we've already said, is more nuanced than this. Pluto will take a side. I'll play devil's advocate and take the opposite side, right? So here's the provocation, Pluto. You ready?
Yep.
You pick one. Either it's going to be kelp or capitalism that dies first. So which one are you going to take? Do you think kelp will die first? I mean, this is what we call gallows humor, folks, in the UK. Things are a bit crappy, so we have to laugh about it. Otherwise we go insane, right? So what's going to die first, kelp or capitalism, and why? Let's have a bit of fun with that.
I would say capitalism.
Go for it. Convince me.
Yeah, and I think kelp is one of the species that has lived on the earth for like God knows how many years, probably before human. I'm not sure. Probably before human. I need to double check this. I should know. I should know. But
you're a human. It's fine.
And I think nature itself is more resilient than we think. And capitalism, I think we are kind of seeing the end of it already. It is kind of really getting there, crumbling down, and everything is getting to shit. And when everything is getting to shit, something good is going to happen. And I think there's more future to kelp and more future to not capitalism for us.
Yeah, but I would say, but capitalism is almost like the cockroach of systems, though. No matter what you do to it, it just seems to like not go away. I mean, we've thrown recessions at it, COVID, environmental collapse, and it's just like, kelp is sturdy, but can it handle hedge fund managers, which are probably truly the apex predators of our time, right? So can kelp say that, that they've, is kelp the cockroach of
I wouldn't say it's cockroaches, but it is called a seaweed. Weed is strong and resilient to any kind of situations. And also I feel like, capitalism, there's things before capitalism. There's matriarchal societies, and there's still matriarchal societies around the world, and there are community-based societies like right now happening, and there's a lot of like very, very, very inspiring like grassroots activism around the world, and I think, like, capitalism, it is a big thing, but we need those little small changes, like small little lights kind of scattered around, and eventually I think we'll be able to make something that's not capitalism and better than capitalism instead of kelp.
Yeah, but why go small changes when you can have big structural changes when you throw loads of money onto it? I mean, like collecting all these taxes from people and then throwing it on the stuff that they don't need, and the kelp doesn't need, doesn't do PR, it doesn't do that kind of stuff. Capitalism, it funds think tanks, lobbying, inspirational LinkedIn posts, and basically when you have narrative power, kelp just doesn't have that flamboyance, whereas capitalism does. It's got that kind of resistance because it can blag itself and it can talk a good talk. I don't see people advocating for kelp, saying, hold my beer. I know how to talk about these things.
I'm the person who advocates. Well, I guess you don't hear kelp talk is because we are humans. We can't hear how they talk. We don't understand. We can't interpret it. They are the foundational species of the coastal environment, and I think they have way more important roles in the ecosystem than we thought they would have. And yeah, they might talk among themselves. You never know. Maybe they're talking behind us, say how we can help them change the capitalism.
Oh my God, that was fun. I mean, that was fun. So, listeners, I want you to tell us, in the show comments or on hashtag hashtag Coffee Jog Pod. Tell us what you think, right? But you know what? So I think honestly, if kelp ran capitalism, I think it would do a better job and we'd be fine, to be honest.
That is true. Have you seen what's the show called? The Netflix show, like Robot This Robot Love This Robot?
Yeah, I've seen it on the thing, but I've not watched it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of the episodes is basically, I think, cheese took over the world. I think cheese. Yeah, like they ran the government.
My youngest love that.
They command, they manage everything, they ran the world, and it was perfect. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. And as I say, folks, gallows humor, because we want the kelp to stay. We want capitalism, in its very, very unequal, injustice, justice destroying to go away, Hopefully one day it will, and the kelp will be our overlords and masters sometime soon. Right, folks. There's one more thing we want to do just before we finish off, and that is I want you to spill the beans now for us, Pluto, because this is ironic, right? So Pluto says, folks, that they grew up inland and couldn't swim until they were in their early 20s, but got their diving certificate before they could properly swim. I think you say, I think I saw the sea first time when maybe I was about 12, and now I'm doing a PhD in marine science. How crazy is that? How on earth do you get a diving certificate before you learn how to swim? How?
Well, because I mean, I can't float. I couldn't properly swim, but I can float, and they don't really require you to just swim. When you go diving, you get all those gears, you get oxygen tanks. Like they help you to float. Yeah, it's like you don't really have to probably learn to swim for that. Although I don't think they should give me my certificate though, because I couldn't properly swim. But I did, so yeah. But yeah, I like it. Every time I think about it, I'm just like, how life goes. You never know, like that's surprises weird. After surprises, and you never know what you're gonna end up and what you're gonna do.
So did you have any like fear of the water, like, or was it just like, okay, I've not learned how to swim, but I'll be fine?
I think I had a bit, because I remember one of the tests was that you had to remove your mask underwater and then put it back on. I think that one I was like the most scared. Like I was just like so scared, like I couldn't take it off, and eventually I did. But like at the start, I remember I was just like, I can't do it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
But like
that's
in
just
general,
hilarious.
I think in general with water, like I'm not too scared of it. Like when I couldn't properly swim, I am a bit, because you always worry, well, what if I slipped? But yeah, like since I learned to properly swim, I can, but still not very good right now, but I can. I think like I enjoy it way more now. Actually went to surfing with a friend like last month.
Oh,
My first time, it was
wow.
amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, go
And down
touch
there as
water.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
That where the waves are
Water is amazing.
not too
Yeah.
small. Yeah, I'd say I did a little bit of surfing when I was younger in my late teens. It was yeah, I know, but I do live. I live not too far from the coast, but I live on the east side of England, and we don't have a fetch. We don't have surf, because
Mm,
our greatest fetch when it does happen is down the North Sea from the north when it happens, and that can be quite great, but it's nothing like the southwest of England. It's nothing like Hawaii. It's certainly nothing like New Zealand. That's for sure.
mm,
And
yeah.
no, that's beyond me. But it's funny. I was when I first met earlier, I mentioned that I'd been to Florida as a child. When
Yeah.
package holidays were first a thing, and we were a working class family, and we scrimped and saved to go to like
Yeah.
Disney World and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we went to one of the Disney parks, water parks, and I remember I have a strong memory. It's one of my first memories. I was 4 years old, going almost 5, and I was so excited that there was all this like slides and fun stuff in this swimming pool, and it was just the way Disney does stuff like fake.
Yeah.
I was so excited, and I couldn't swim, but I still jumped into the deep end in excitement. And I have this distinct memory, like no fear at all, as you do at that age. And I had this memory of being underwater, like not panicking. I'm like going, "This is a bit strange. Why can't I breathe? I'm floating." And then all of a sudden, I felt someone grab my arm and like yank me
Yeah.
out. And I was like,
That's scary.
yeah. And then my parents were like, "You better teach Kit how to swim because we're not having that happen again."
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's also like my parents, they did. I think I was also like didn't really care about swimming. Like I just jump into the water, and maybe there's a few times I almost drowned, but I think my parents is like, okay, we need to. Well, my parents couldn't swim too, so it's like
Oh,
they went to the swimming lesson with me together. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, I love it. No, both my kids are. We've my eldest has stopped swimming now, but they're both very competent swimmers. And yesterday, not yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday. Yesterday, the youngest, who's still going swimming lessons, had his water safety week.
Oh.
So t-shirt, shorts, and because it echoes so much in the swimming pool, when they get taught, they say, right, you got to learn how to scream and shout help as loud as you can. So you got to bob up and down and scream. And it was so ear piercing. It's like, and I've got tinnitus, and because of my neurodivergency, I was like, they're gonna, and I'm sort of plugging my ears, and they're going in that very, very shrieky, young kid way. So I think my ears are still ringing after that yesterday.
Oh, they got very high pitched sounds.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah. Pluto, it's such a shame we've got to bring this to an end now. So the last thing we're going to do is link you to our previous guest through We Are All Geographers. So this, folks, is, if you're new to the podcast, it's where we chain every guest together through a word that they give each other. So last week we spoke to, I'm releasing these every 2 weeks now. So the last time I released a podcast, we spoke to DeAndre Smiles, wonderful, wonderful person over in North American Indigenous. Gave us some very good, unique perspectives. Such a great chat. And the word that he came up, Pluto, for you to talk about for 30 seconds, it's not a bad one, actually, I think, for you, is the word chili. Chili as in, not chili as in the country it spoke today, not chili as in the pepper, but chili as in the temperature, right?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I know. It's just crazy how good these words have been for each guest. So, when you're ready, Give me the thumbs up. And then I'll start the timer. 30 seconds on the word Chile, however you want to take it.
Like anything.
Yeah.
Like anything about it. Oh. Chile. Like anything?
Anything.
Huh.
I know, there's so many ways you can go with this one.
Yeah, like too many.
You could even just say
Like,
Antarctica,
when
Chile.
you don't have a direction, it's actually harder than you have something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, one podcast we had toenail, anti-disestablishmentarianism, trampoline, a head of geography gave me Battle of Hastings. I mean, like, come on. So, why can't you give us something that, DeAndre, why couldn't you give us something a bit more specific, eh?
Okay. So it can be like a story or just a feeling or like anything.
Yep. I reckon,
Wow.
Don't think about it, just talk about it. Ready?
Okay, just
Go.
talk about it. Yeah, go. Okay, so I've been to Antarctica early last year in February, March, and it's supposed to be super, super chilly because, it's Antarctica, it's really cold. And I went down there, the weather was perfect, it was sunny, and I stepped on the snow was chilly, but then I tried to take a photo, and I don't want to wear the bulky, it's just finished.
Yeah, right.
Bulky clothes. So I took my jacket off, and I just wearing t-shirts, and it wasn't chilly in Antarctica.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I think the thing you have to mostly worry about, I guess, is getting sunburned.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But so I think that's one of the reasons why they tell you to keep your jacket on, because they don't want your arms going like lobster legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you don't get your revenge on DeAndre, unfortunately, but you do get to pay it forward. So for my next guest, Pluto, what kind of word do you want to throw at them for 30 seconds?
So, like, any words.
I know, right?
Maybe a whale.
Right. Okay, folks. We'll have a whale of a time with that next time round. See what I did there? Oh my God, Kit, give it up. Have some more coffee. Right, Pluto. This has been loads and loads of fun. Thank you so much for giving me a fantastic morning and a start to my day here. So, how can people get in contact with you, and where are you found on things like social media?
Yeah, Blue Sky should be good. What's my name? I forgot my name. You have my name, so you have my name.
I'll put it in the description. Yep.
Yeah, I'm also like on Instagram. It's called Nomad Pluto. That one you can reach me as well. But also, I think academia wise, there's like Google Scholar and everything can find me probably. Yeah.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Oh, this is fantastic. So, thank you so much for staying up late. And I know you say you would have been up anyway, but for having this chat, this has been loads of fun. This has been really lots of fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Coffee and Geography. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app and leave us a rating or review. It really helps. Some episodes are also available with video, so don't forget to check out the Geogramblings YouTube channel for more. Stay in the loop by following us and using hashtag CoffeeJogPod on Blue Sky and LinkedIn. That's hashtag CoffeeJogPod, where we share updates on new episodes and upcoming guests. Got a question for a guest? Post it on LinkedIn or Blue Sky using hashtag JogQ Yes, hashtag JogQ and we might just feature it on the show. Keep exploring, keep connecting, and as always, keep geogging.